But yeah, the thing is, yesterday we did a wheel thing here. And like it's meant to add a little bit more fun to the stream. You can waste your points and stuff like that. However, there are a few things that it can land on. So yesterday, Vesper, it landed on make a rant YouTube video. And he wanted me to do one about a certain game and a rant between the difference of the categories. And I was like, actually, let's make it into something better, something bigger. And basically the importance of main categories. Because I think many people do not realize how important the very first category is for each game, right? So imagine that you're playing your speedrun, you play it casually, and then you're like, oh, I want to see what speedrun is like. And you come to a page like this. Imprtance, speedrun is 8 minutes. You have all levels, Imprtance all stars, like many different type of categories. And then you see like this one, and you can go down and see, oh, I can only play a character. But the very first thing you do see is this Imprtance. And it's a low entry. Like very easy, like speed or learning wise, to start speedrunning. So like you can see it, very easy. However, if you would do like all levels, it's way longer. So here is a very good example on like a very good leaderboard. And like the thing is, when you have a category like this as the main category, is that you will funnel more players into the main category, and they will be funneled into the lesser categories, and the lesser categories, and lesser categories. But if you have a bad main category, most players will just not go into the speedrun at all. And like one great example for that is like Super Mario Bros. 3. Main category is 100%. How many people in chat here would be appalled at me claiming that SMB 3 is, if not one, it's the best game on the Nintendo 8-bit. No questions asked. It's the best game. Main category is 100%. It's long, you need to learn everything. There's even special rules for stuff. And you go down and look. Only 184 runs on the main category. Well, if it's the greatest NES game, obviously Imprtance should have at least 500 runners, right? Because it's quick, it's easy. And you go down and you look at, yeah, it does. And then you go into Imprtance no wrong work then. Like there's no skill cap here. It's very easy. Oh, 500 runs. Let's check Imprtance workless. Oh, 387. Oh, wait. So it's the reverse basically with runners. And I will make a big claim here. And my big claim is, if any other category except these two were the main category, all other categories except for 100% would be healthier. Because many people will not run like these categories that comes after, just because, oh, this is the main category, I have to run the main category. Like maybe they will run like N% Warpless, but they will not touch that one or that one. So I feel like for a game like SMB3, the moderators are really hurting the speedrun. And like, yeah, it's a big speedrun still, but like, we're talking the best game on NES. Only having this many speedrunners in each category. That's a failure, in my opinion. But we can look at an even bigger example, which is Zelda 2. As Zelda 2 is one of the games that caught the SDH, basically SDA 8s. We're like, oh, it's the category from the SDA days, that's what we are speedrunning and everything. And like, Zelda 2 is really, really good and fun game. And like the main category, it does have a lot of runners, like 222. But here we can see like how a community have made it almost a toxic environment to where like, oh, let's check any percent deathless. Oh, 10 runners. Let's check any percent. That should have plenty of runners. Oh, 32 runners. Let's check 100% deathless. 20 runners. Any percent no major glitches. 28 runners? What's going on here? 100% no major glitches? Well, that one has slightly more. 100%. Wait, what's the difference between this and this? Doesn't matter. Only 19 runners. And like, the reason here is like I don't want to speedrun this game because you need to learn so much for the game to do the main category. And like, after you learn this, you're probably not gonna do any of these like that are considered like meme category. Like any percent is considered meme. Any percent deathless is like more like a challenge run. 100% deathless, yeah, it's a challenge run. Any percent no major glitches. Yeah, that's a like a good, like a normal run. But like, most people won't go and play the other categories because they will look at the 100%, and at the moment they go here, they will either decide, oh, I'm gonna learn the 100% run, or oh, this is fucking stupid, I'm not gonna do this main category, and they move on to the next game. Obviously there are people like, if we go to any percent here, like that only does like these shorter categories. But it's so rare. And like, not only does this hurt like the game getting new runners, it hurts the world records of this category as well, just because there's no new blood coming in. Like, yeah, we can continue looking at that later. But like if you would have put any percent as the main category here, I believe that you would have like 200 runners per category instead of having one category with 200 runners. Just because it sadly caught some SDA 8s at the early 2000s, which we sadly haven't found a cure for. Because people that are SDA pilled and games that have become SDA pilled will probably forever keep having the SDA 8s. And like, let's take a look at a sports game for example. And it can be a little bit harder here to make like main categories and stuff. And like, look here, tournament. And the first time I looked at this leaderboard, I was like, I saw this, I was like, oh, that's fucking sucks. There's nothing. There's not even a speed run here. And like I can say that because I have the world record in this game. Even though I'm not on the leaderboard, I did one casual playthrough and beat the world record. So you kind of know that this is not a speed run. And like the problem here is that I need a snooze here because I'm starting to get a little bit upset here. The problem here is like there's so few people that will actually play this game to actually speedrun this game. And if you want people to speedrun the game, you need to put categories at least up front here that catches people's eyes. Like I would say this is the most important one, and the extra ones are equally important. And this is like one of the worst leaderboards because you have tournament and you need to go here and click here. Like you had Gordon Howe. Yeah, just only one. But look at this, 10 goals. Like it's way more popular. It's way more competitive. And everything. Imagine if this was at least up here. How many more players would be running this game? And I do understand that some people are like, oh, it's not a speedrun unless you beat the game. But like, speedrunning is not about beating a game. It's about achieving a goal as fast as possible. The sooner people can realize that, the better. It's not about beating the game. It's about achieving your goal. And the goal can be whatever. It can be scoring 10 goals. It can be for the Howie when you beat up 5 people. Or it can be winning the tournament. Now the question becomes, what is more fun? Is tournament more fun, where you go up, shoot one, score and hide between your goal, or behind your goal, and then go up to the middle at the end, and then match start and hope that you match start faster than the other people, or time start maybe? Or is 10 goals more interesting, where you gotta adjust to the RNG, you gotta have good understanding of the AI of the game. You gotta understand that the game becomes unfair after scoring 4 goals. You gotta understand that when you're up by 6 goals, this might happen because the AI changes. Like, what's the most interesting speedrun? And this is just a huge failure of a leaderboard because, like, I looked at this leaderboard and I didn't even notice this one. And you need to catch people's eyes if you want more people to play your game. Obviously this game got a little bit boosted because it's in the Big 20 and the goal is score 10 goals. Which is really good that Best of NES actually is thinking about what is the most fun for people to do. Because imagine if they had tournament. Yeah, it would be a 30-minute goal, but is it fun? Is it difficult? No. So like you can still have tournament as the main category, even though I think that's stupid. You can have it, but advertise the fun stuff up here without the need of needing to press something here. But yeah, let's say you don't believe me that oh, main category doesn't matter that much. Let's take a game that is probably equally popular for people growing up. What has a good main category? Double Dribble. Let's check here. Oh, 100 points. How many runners do it have? 26 runners. Like, the moment you... Like, instead of thinking about what is beating the game, because with sports game it can be really hard to understand what goal should we use as a speedrunning category. Think about what has the most potential as a speedrun and what's the most fun. And let's say double dribble could be win a match, but what would you do there? You would score and then try to not have them score. And you would basically just get a few people that has the same time. There's no like greater improvement, you can't go faster, there's a really low skill ceiling. It's just not a fun speedrun. And yeah, like just imagine if this game had the same disease as Blades of Steel had, with tournament as main category. This run would probably have like 5 runners. But we can also look at a game that just falls into the middle, which is Ultimate Basketball. And like, where like, this game has a tournament mode. The main category is win a game, but they had 100 points here. And like, the only reason this game has runners is because a subculture speed or a sub speedrunner group came in and did, which in this case was like the prolific list people. And what the prolific list people usually do is they look, or what they used to do was, oh, this game doesn't have a speedrun. Oh, I'm gonna pick this category because it's free and easy. And if I do this category once, my time will still be really good no matter how many other times other people try, because this is the limit of the time. Like, it can differ this much. So they want to make this box as small as possible, and that's why win a game is the main category, because it's the smallest box you can create in skill cap for this game. Like, the moment you add tournament, the box might go from this to this. All of a sudden, it's not that much fun for them to just go in and get one time in the game. And 100 points, maybe the box is still this big. But again, it's not fun because all of a sudden you actually need to put effort into your one-time speedrun. And that's why win the game is a main category here. But is it that bad? I would say no. Like, I still think it's bad because I think there are more fun. 100 points is always more fun because you have more options to improve. But at least they have the 100 point categories. Maybe they should have win the tournament categories. But at least they have like the categories instead of hiding them, which is a big part. And obviously people enjoy this category, so I will not say it's wrong, because if we check here, only one player has done a run here. So like, at least the category is getting runners. It's not bad. However, I think if they had like, maybe not 100 points, but maybe a little bit less points as a main category over here, I think it could be even better. But this is like a game that, because it doesn't have big roots in speedrunning, something as weird as winning a game actually works for this game. But yeah, let's get to the point where Vesper actually why he wanted me to do this rant and my whole point. But let's take one final detour to Bubble Bubble. And like, everyone can agree that any percent is not the real ending. Happy end is obviously the real ending here. But is it that bad that any percent is the main category here? Because here's the deal with Bubble Bubble. It's a really, really hard game. And getting the happy end is really, really hard. And let's be honest here. 90% of speedrunners aren't good gamers. I could go even higher, like 95% of speedrunners aren't good gamers. They are crap gamers that practice and learn until they get good at a game. And if you for some reason do not believe this statement, just check out like a Super Mario World Kaizo player. Like they will go through the hardest stages, the ones they've done 1,000 times, but the moment they reach something where they need to adjust, like a boss fight with slight RNG or anything that they are not prepared for, they will be stuck at that place for hours and hours. Just check any popular Super Mario World Kaizo release and you will see all the players are stuck at the final boss for hours end. Which is my whole point as well here, is that some games are so hard that it's okay to have an easy category that might not be what you consider to be the true ending or the ultimate speedrunning category, but having a slightly easier category. So people that comes in here goes like, okay, yeah, I can probably do any percent. And you can see many people have tried, like, yeah, it takes a few people over an hour, but people try it. And like happy end, only 6 have done. And let's just say, in a world where we would reverse these two, where happy end is here, I would say happy end would probably have like 12 runners. And any percent would probably have around 12 runners as well. So putting the harder category would obviously make more people run the harder category. But in total amount of runners you get, it's always better to have something that's accessible for people to run. It's kind of like what I've said before with oh, Paperboy. Perfect Delivery was the only category for the longest time because it had SDA AIDS, which we luckily found a cure for, I believe. Or Contra that doesn't allow Konami code for their speedruns. Like, if you need to use the Konami code, you're not gonna compete for a world record, so why does it matter? Like, just allow people to be able to complete runs. And then you can have challenge categories like you can even have like a modifier on the leaderboard right here saying use Konami code, yes, no. Like it should always be about making it as easy as possible to get people to start running the game. But that doesn't mean that everyone that runs the game should be able to do every single category. So there should be in Contra like one that is any percent Konami code and one that is without. And people would obviously just see that, oh, Konami code is without it, it's faster. But yeah, let's go to my final example here, which is Rainbow Island. And I think this is the most underrated NES game. And probably the most underrated NES speedrun out there. And I've been to this page before anything, before I started learning anything about like categories and why I got off-put by them and stuff like that. And when I came here, I was like, okay, let's check the speed run. Okay, let's check the speed run. Let's go here. Okay, let's see. Okay. He's killing everything. Everything is going slow. Oh right, he needs all the crystals. Okay. Yeah, this is just slow. Yeah. I'm not gonna speed run this game. And that was basically my interpretation of the speed run. And I even went to the bad ending here. Like, if you check here, well, this is the beginning, so it's unfair, but let's go to here. Like, this is basically just a good ending run that got messed up somewhere, I believe. So this run is also extremely slow if you compare to what is possible when you do not go for 100%. And like here's a big thing. It's like, is Bad End actually beating the game? No, it totally isn't. The game even tells you didn't actually beat the game. But what did I say before about speedrunning? It's not about beating games. It's about achieving a certain goal as fast as possible. And achieving Bad End is a speedrun. And it's a speedrun that allows you to go faster. It's a speedrun that allows you for more advanced movement. And it's just a more exciting speedrun to watch. And like, not having like I obviously understand right now that, yeah, it's free runners for any percent. But I really believe if Bad End was over here, we would have probably 10 runners for the game. I would be one of them. But I am a person that actually care about what is the main category. And if the main category is not good, not fun, I would probably not do a side category. Like, there are very few games where I've only done a side category. One of them is Castlevania. I done the J version. But that's because the main category is really good in Castlevania. And because I've done the J version, I can do the main category. And like that's the whole thing I want to get into people's heads, is that it's not always about having what is the most complete run as the main category. Because I feel like when you start thinking that way, it hurts the possible growth of that speedrun. Like I said, I think SMB3 would be bigger if it wasn't for bad moderators picking bad main categories. I think Zelda 2 would be much bigger if it didn't have SDA 8s. I think Blades of Steel would be one of the biggest meme speedruns out there if it was handled correctly. And being a meme speedrun isn't a bad thing. It's a good thing, in my opinion. And Rainbow Islands are probably the game that has gotten fucked the hardest by having bad categories. And like for example, one thing you can look at is like let's go to, and I know some people might get angry here. This might be a hot thing to say. But let's go to Zelda 2 again, and let's go to stats. And let's go to the world record. Do you think this world record was world record this long because it was such a good run? Or do you think that this was world record for so long because there was no new good runners that came in? I'm gonna let you guys answer that is watching this. Like, we can go to other categories here. Like any percent. Do you think this one has been world record for this long because it's so good? Like, look at these categories that are shorter. It brings more exciting moments in the speedrunning for the game. Like here, kinda dead category, world record wise. This one has gotten a little bit of competition. Really dead. Really dead. I would say this is decently recent. Decently recent. Like my whole point is that if this was not the main category, it would be a much better speedrun. But sadly, it got SDA 8. And as we all know, if your game catches SDA 8, or if a speedrunner you know has SDA 8, they are probably doomed already. And yeah, that's a whole other issue. It's just the naming conventions of stuff as well. Like any percent NTSC here, you would assume any percent is just beating the game as fast as possible. No requirements. But any percent here is 100%. And that end is any percent. Or bad end is beating the game as fast as possible. Any percent is 100%ing the game as fast as possible. But yeah, I think that's all that I want to say. You might agree, you might disagree. I don't give a fuck. I said what I thought about this all. And just remember, if you know someone with SD8, reach out. There is a support line. And take care. Bye bye.